Hi guys, welcome to another session of News in 30 Minutes. I hope all of you are doing well and I hope you people are looking forward for the new TNT series that is coming up. Okay, so today on the 6th of November 2023, let us look at some of the important issues of the day. Mainly the news in most of the newspapers is one, breach of privacy. This is one issue that is there. A lot of articles in many newspapers have come on breach of privacy. And the second news that is making a lot of noise is the air pollution in India, particularly the North India. Okay, so these are the two issues that are recurring from the last few days, and today there is a lot of articles. So let us focus a little bit in depth of what this two issues are all about from mains perspective as well as from the prelims perspective. Okay, let's get on with it. So the first article talks about the techno-legal net, a must to guard privacy. Basically, there has to be some legality on how to use the technology wisely that will help guard the privacy. That is what this article is all about. So this article mainly talks about two things. One is individual privacy versus state surveillance. Okay, so it is talking about two things, individual privacy and state surveillance. Why is this in news? It was in news because Apple issued an alert to a few of the iPhone users that there was a state sponsored attacks that were being done, and this was being done remotely to compromise the iPhone. Okay, so once these these messages were sent by the Apple manufacturer to the iPhone users, this created a debate on the breach of privacy. Since it is state sponsored, the state was also in question. Okay, the Apple obviously have not released much of the information on this, but it was just a warning alert, and our Ministry of Information has told that it will look into it on what the issue is all about. However, this entire episode of Apple alerts has brought into question the individual privacy versus the state surveillance. Okay, so look, as a UPSC aspirant, you should always take sides on both the angles. You cannot take one side. Overall, what this article tells is, one, state surveillance is very, very important as well, as it ensures national security, as it is important for internal stability. Okay, and in order to stop any type of extremism. Okay, so for this, state surveillance becomes important. So if state surveillance is important, can it breach the individual privacy? No, it cannot breach the individual privacy, because individual privacy is part of fundamental rights. Okay, it is read under Article 21 that right to privacy is part of the right to life and liberty. So this was given in a nine bench judgment in 2017. Okay, this was known as the famous Puttaswamy case, and in this Puttaswamy case, J.S. Kecker actually read that right to privacy actually is part of Article 21. That is, it is intrinsic. Right to privacy is intrinsic to the right to life and liberty. Okay, hence individual privacy is also very, very important. So if we understand that state surveillance is important, then how to balance the state surveillance with individual privacy? You can balance it provided the state surveillance is well defined, the state surveillance is legally sound, and that state surveillance as a transparent framework. Only then can we balance the individual privacy with the state surveillance. I hope you got this. State surveillance in a country like India is very important to maintain national security and internal stability, especially if we have left-wing extremism, if we have terrorism, if we have northeast insurgency, such issues in India, then state surveillance becomes very important. However, we cannot under any circumstances compromise the individual privacy, because right to privacy is read under Article 21, that is right to life and liberty. This is in the 9 bench judgment in 2017 of the Supreme Court that is known as Puttaswamy case. However, to balance this individual privacy with state surveillance, the individual privacy should always be well defined. The state surveillance should always be well defined. The state surveillance should always have a legally sound structure and a transparent framework. And in this regard, in this well-defined, structured and legally sound architecture, the central government has come up with Digital Personal Data Protection Act 2023. As you know, it is an act, so it is already passed. Okay. However, the rules are yet to be made, which is still in the formation stage. Okay. However, you as an aspirant should have an idea about what the crux of this act is all about. This Digital Personal Data Protection Act is based on 7 principles. Okay. The first principle is usage of personal data. Okay. The usage of personal data should be lawful. That is, whatever personal data that you take from an individual, this personal data should only be used once it is defined under the law. Okay. The second principle is intended purpose. That is, the data that is taken should always be used only for the intended purpose. It cannot be used for generic purposes. For what reason is it stated for? Only that it should be used. The third is data minimization. Data minimization. Okay. What it means is you have to use only the relevant data, and that relevant data should be used only for specific purpose. That's it. That is the only job. Okay. You have to take only the relevant data and you have to use it only for specific purpose. Okay. So that is, you have to keep the data as minimum as possible. The fourth is data accuracy. The fourth principle is data accuracy, which means that the data should be consistent with reality. Sometimes what happens, the data collection will be very biased. The data collection will have its own, prejudices. So all this prejudices and bias should not be there. The data accuracy should be very high. That is, it has to be collected with consistency with reality. Okay. The next is data storage. Okay. The data storage should not be perpetual. Okay. It should not be perpetual. Okay. It should have a fixed duration. Okay. The next is, the sixth one is, there should not be no authorized collection. That is, whatever collection happens, it has to derive its source from law. And the last is accountability. Accountability of people who are collecting it, accountability of people who are storing it, accountability of people who are using it. So collect, store, use. At all the 3 levels, there has to be accountability. Okay. So these are the important 7 principles on which our Digital Personal Data Protection Act is based on. The usage of personal data, that is, the usage of personal data, the data should always be used lawfully. The purpose that it is used should always be the intended purpose. Data minimization should always be the order of the day. That is, you have to only take relevant data for only specified purposes. Data accuracy, that is, it has to be consistent with reality. It should not have any biased or prejudices attached to these data collection as well as storage. The next is data storage should not be perpetual. There should always be a sunset clause, a fixed duration. No authorized collection, that is, no unauthorized collection. That is, the authority which collects the data should always have a legal backing. Okay, should always have a legal backing. So there should not be no unauthorized collection. The 7th is accountability factor. Obviously, those who collect, store and use must be accountable for their intended purposes. Okay, so this is what is this entire act. However, what you should know is privacy is making a lot of news and questions are going to come both in prelims and mains from different perspectives. So you should be ready for it. Okay, I hope this article was helpful. Let us go on to the next issue of the day. The next issue is tiding over on North India and its annual air quality inflection point in November. Indian states should ensure greater compliance of air pollution. Okay, so the overall aspect of this article is it is talking about air pollution. So the article gives very generic viewpoint of air pollution and how it has to be controlled. The article tells that most of the air pollution in cities are coming from vehicular pollution, and the second is construction. So the article also says that vehicular pollution contributes to around 85% of pollution in cities, In cities, around 85% of the pollution is coming from vehicular pollution, and construction is contributing to 10% in Indian cities. So, two activities that has to be controlled under any circumstances is vehicular pollution as well as construction. Okay. Along with this comes stubble burning. This activity is seen in North India, especially during winter season. Okay. So the reason why you see this in winter season is from Kharif to Rabi. Okay. That is from rice to wheat. When they grow, there is only 10 days left. Okay, there's a 10 days intermission between the rice and wheat, that is the Kharif season and Rabi season. So in this 10 days, if a farmer has to clear the field for wheat cultivation, obviously the straw that is left behind after the rice cultivation, the farmer, the best option is to burn. So this will lead to stubble burning, and the stubble burning will obviously lead to air pollution. Okay, so these are the three dominant reasons. One is vehicular pollution, 2 is construction, and 3 is stubble burning. These are the dominant reasons why North India suffers from air pollution. Not only North India, the city of Mumbai is also suffering from air pollution. Not only Mumbai, there is one report that says the Energy Policy Institute of Chicago. Okay, this Energy Policy Institute of Chicago has given 2 important facts. One, 39 out of 50 cities in the world, 39 out of 50 most polluted cities in the world is in India. Look at this. This is huge. Okay, 39 out of 50 most polluted cities in the world is in India. That is one thing. The second thing, what it tells is the average Indian is losing approximately 5.3 years of life expectancy. Average Indian is losing approximately 5.3 years of life expectancy due to air pollution. Okay, you should know this fact. You can use it in your answer. One, you got to know in North India what are the important reasons. You got to know the 3 reasons: vehicular pollution 85%, construction 10%, and stubble burning during winter season. Now you also know some facts given by the Energy Policy Institute of Chicago. One, it says 39 out of 50 most polluted cities in the world comes in India, unfortunately, and average Indian is losing 5.3 years of life expectancy due to air pollution alone. This is huge and unfortunate. Okay, so to overcome this problem in India, we have set up a type of legal architecture. Okay, we have set up a type of legal architecture with different tools to monitor air pollution. Okay, so our job from an exam point of view is to have a very good idea about this legal architecture as well as the tools to monitor air pollution. The first institute that is making a lot of noise is the commission. Let me just rewrite it. The Commission for Air Quality Management. Okay, the Commission for Air Quality Management. This is known as CAQM. Henceforth, I'll be handling it, or henceforth I'll be calling it as CAQM. Okay, so this body, first of all, replaced something called Environmental Protection Control Authority. Okay, it replaced this particular body handled air pollution in Delhi, and it handled air pollution in NCR region for almost 20 years. Okay, however, the EPCA is replaced by CQAM. Okay, so that is the first thing. Alright, EPCA was actually created by the Supreme Court in order to handle or monitor the air pollution in Delhi NCR. Okay, now this particular CAQM that is replacing the EPCA is one statutory body. It is a statutory body, and it controls or it monitors air quality. It monitors air quality in Delhi. Along with Delhi, it monitors air quality in Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, and Uttar Pradesh. Okay, so together it monitors NCR and surrounding regions. Okay, so that is one. The next is CAQM. In NCR, CAQM overrides CPCB. That is CAQM, the Commission for Air Quality Management, overrides the powers of Central Pollution Control Board. That is another one. The next is CAQM, since it's a statutory body, non-compliance with CAQM. Non-compliance with CAQM will lead to 5 years of prison or around 1 crore of fine. So it is having punitive measures. Okay. The next is, what you should know is, CAQM as the ability or the authority. CAQM has the authority to, one, restrict industries to come up in a particular area. That is one. The next, it can do random inspections. 3, it can shut down factories. 4, it can cut water supply or power. And the last is, it will prevent stubble burning. Okay, so let me repeat them because I wrote it in a very bad handwriting, which I have, sorry about it. One is restricting industries. The second is random inspections. Third is it can shut down factories. The fourth is it can cut down water supply and power. And the fifth is it can prevent stubble burning. Okay, this is what is the authority of CAQM, which is a statutory body which monitors the air quality in Delhi and surrounding areas of Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan and UP. And the authority of CAQM overrides the authority of Central Pollution Control Board. Okay, and one more information that you should know is, only NGT, that is National Green Tribunal, can hear the cases of CAQM. Okay, so if there is a case that is going from CAQM, it will exclude civil courts. Okay, there is no provision of going to civil courts. All the hearings of CAQM will go directly to National Green Tribunal. Okay, so that is one information that you should know. So this is the overall information about CAQM, a very important body, and I feel that this body will be asked in the prelims 2024. So please be prepared on this. Okay, the next thing that you should know is the air quality index. That is also making a lot of news. Air quality index. So basically it is you will get a composite number. Okay, a composite number and a color code, and this composite number and color code will reflect the intensity of air pollution. It will reflect the intensity of air pollution. Okay, green being the least polluted, red being the most polluted. Okay, green to red, this will reflect the color as well as the composite number will reflect the intensity of the air pollution. Okay, now there are 6 levels of intensity that is measured. It is good, satisfactory, the next is moderate, the next is poor, very poor, and then severe. Okay, these are the 6 levels of intensity. So every level will be given a composite number as well as a color. Okay, so this is actually to make sure that a common person can understand the intensity of the air quality at a very easy way or easy manner. That's the main reason of the air quality index. Okay, the next is air quality index monitors 8 pollutants. It monitors 8 pollutants, and the 8 pollutants are PM10, that is particulate matter 10, particulate matter 2.5, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, carbon monoxide, ozone at the ground level. Next is ammonia and lead. Okay, these are the 8 pollutants that is monitored by the air quality index. So I hope you got an understanding of this air quality index. Okay, the next is, it is mainly implemented in metropolitan cities. It is implemented in metropolitan cities and a few towns. Okay, so this is about the air quality index. Okay, so the next one more index that is constantly in news is the National Ambient Air Quality Standards. Okay, so what is the difference between air quality index and air quality standard? This ambient air quality standards is, air quality index is used as a color code. It just monitors 8 pollutants, okay, and it is across few cities, whereas here it monitors 12 pollutants, and this is across the country. Okay, national ambient air quality standards is across the country. Okay, and it prescribes to the standards of WHO. All right, and the important institution in charge of national ambient air quality standards is CPCB. Okay, and this basically is to have a uniform air quality standards for the entire nation. Air quality standards for the entire nation. Okay, so as I told you, this monitors 12 pollutants, so you should know about the 12 pollutants. Amongst them, the 8 are same as air quality index. Okay, what are they? They are 1 PM10, PM2.5, SO2, NO2, carbon monoxide, ozone at ground level, ammonia, and lead. Okay, these were the 8. Plus, you have 4 extra. This 4 is benzene, benzopyrene, arsenic, and nickel. These 4 are extra outside the air quality index that is monitored by national air quality ambient air quality standards. Okay, now the next thing is you should know that these standards are not legally binding. Okay, that is the problem. There is no legally binding aspect for the states to take measures. Okay, now the same CPCB has launched something called National Clean Air Program. Okay, it is launched National Clean Air Program. Okay, and the job of National Clean Air Program is to make sure that the particulate matters PM10 and PM2.5 are reduced by 20 to 30%. Are reduced by 20 to 30% by the time of 2024. Okay, this is the main objective of National Clean Air Program, and this is taken by CPCB. Okay, this is another program that is taken by India. Okay, the last program taken by India is Graded Response Action Plan. Okay, Graded Response Action Plan. They call it Graded Response Action Plan as GRAP. Okay, now this is implemented by CAQM, Commission on Air Quality Management, which you just read a few minutes ago. So it is implemented by CAQM, and this is mainly done in NCR and surrounding regions. It is not yet done in India. One of the recommendations is to do this in all the cities across India, but currently it is done in NCR and the surrounding areas. Okay, so this was approved by the Supreme Court in MC Mehta versus Union of India. Okay, in MC Mehta versus Union of India, this particular Graded Response Action Plan was approved along with EPCA, but now EPCA is not there, so this Graded Response Action Plan is basically handled by the new body that has replaced the EPCA, that is CAQM. Okay, so what happens is in Graded Response Action Plan there are 4 levels. Okay, the levels are moderate, poor, severe, severe plus. Okay, now along this levels, the graded response, see, the response will increase. If it is moderate, the response will also be moderate. If it is poor, the response will be more rigid. If it is severe, then the response will be very rigid. And if it is severe plus, the response will be very, very rigid. For example, if it is severe plus, then there is close down of schools. Okay, people are advised not to come out. So the response depends upon the severity. Okay, that is why it is known as Graded Response Action Plan. Okay, so finally these are some of the, so we have discussed within the air pollution, we have discussed these many things. The first is the Commission for Air Quality Management, CAQM. The next is Air Quality Index. The next is National Ambient Air Quality Standards. The next is National Clean Air Program and the Graded Response Action Plan. So these are few things that you should have in mind from air pollution because it is making a lot of news. Okay, and in GS3, if you see, one question in the environment will always be on the basis of air pollution. So with that, you should always have a very good, well-rounded model answer, as well as some very good idea about the programs that has been implemented in India with regards to air pollution. Okay, I hope the session was helpful, and I hope that you people are learning how to go about current affairs and linking them to the static part of your syllabus. If you feel that this session is helping you in any way in your UPSC preparation, please like, share and subscribe. 200 more subscribers to go for you to unlock TNT series. So please make sure that you ask your friends, you request your friends to join as soon as possible, so that you can enjoy the series that will enrich your answers in all the GS papers. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.